Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Glam with Suzanne. And today we are talking about this bright red hair. So whenever those seasons change, I get an itching to change my hair color. I don't know if you guys are the same way. I'm like that all the time. So what I've had to do is to protect my own hair by wearing wigs. And I think that it's so important to be able to share this with everyone because so many of you are either going through hair damage right now or trying to restore their hair after having a baby and having like postpartum shedding and different things like that. There's a whole gamut of reasons why people like wigs, or they may have some hair loss, or they just might be like me and they just want to protect their hair and just like, it's just so much easier than having to manage curly and crazy hairs. Also, I'm going to be showing you how to get really pretty wavy hair using a flat iron. So if that interests you, then make sure to keep on watching. And babes, if you are not part of my YouTube family, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button to join the family, as well as make sure to click that bell notification so you don't miss a future upload. And I'm super active on Instagram, so if you want to see what I'm up to, the latest and greatest in beauty and all that good stuff, then make sure to follow me at Glam with Suzanne. And if you like subscription boxes, make sure to follow me at Foxy Charm Sneak Peek. So without further ado, let's get right into this wig tutorial and straight up get ready with me, try to fix this hair, whatever you want to call it, but make sure you stay tuned. The very first part of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the hair itself, where it's from, what I think of it, and all that good stuff, and then I'll get into the actual tutorial portion. So this hair right here is by a company called Celie hair. It looks like that. And I discovered this company on Aliexpress, which is kind of like I would say like it's basically a website where there's all these different vendors and they sell plenty of different things. It's not just hair, but they have a lot of hair vendors on there. Now, I've been shopping on Aliexpress for many, many years, and let me tell you, not all the hair vendors are good. It was like a disaster for very many years until I actually came across Celie hair, and I purchased from them originally, I think like 3 years back, and ever since then I've been purchasing from them all the time. And the hair that you see me wear on a daily basis on all my socials is actually Celie hair that I purchased myself and that I made into a wig. But this is a wig that's already been pre-constructed, which means that the vendor will sell it to you just like this. So I'm gonna insert some pictures of the hair itself and what it looks like so you guys kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about, because there might be some new wig beginners in this video. So pretty much the wig is already pre-sewn. It's already made into the perfect cap size for you. Also, you have the opportunity to customize your cap size, which is the size of your head. You could send them measurements, or you can actually go onto their website, and I'm going to insert a picture of sort of what would be your appropriate size, and you would just measure it at home and purchase accordingly. I do love a really long length because when you curl it, it will kind of like shrink a little bit. So I do like having really long hair to start with, and I can always customize it or cut it if I really want. As far as the hair itself, it's human hair, which means that you can dye it. It means that you can put heat through it. You could do all various different things. You could treat it how you would treat your own regular hair, which is fantastic. Although human hair is expensive, it really is long lasting. So now for my true like wig fanatics who want to know the exact specs of this wig, and this might be like a foreign language to the new beginners, but just wanted to let you guys know that this hair is obviously virgin hair that's been dyed. It is 200% density, which means the thickness is super thick, which is what I love. Also, it is pre-colored and it is pre-plucked. So that means that the seller has went in and plucked the hairline to try to make it look as natural as possible. The one thing with wigs is that most of the times they are not pre-plucked, so they look very wiggy in the front, or they're too dense. So it does take an extra step for you to be able to learn how to do that and customize it. And what I love about Celie hair is the fact that this already comes pre-plucked for you. This hair comes in multiple different lengths, so you can get whatever you feel would work best for you. And all the information about this hair will actually be in the description box below. Now for the way that I actually lay my wigs down or keep them stuck. So a lot of people wonder like, hey, your wigs are on there quite snug. How do you do that? How do you get them not to move and all that good stuff? How I do that is a couple things. So I'm going to insert clips of me doing this sort of off camera just because I wanted this video to be really fast and easy for everyone out there. Put your hair all the way back, and then you get a wig cap, and you put your wig cap on, so that will keep your hair all the way flat and back down. And then you have the area over here that's exposed, which is like your forehead area right here and sort of the temple area right over here. And you want to make sure that you clean that area really, really, really well with some rubbing alcohol. Okay, so the reason why you want to clean the skin of any sort of grease or oil or makeup is because you want to get the wig to adhere as nicely to that surface as possible. And if there's makeup or grease or anything like that, it will break up the glue or the adhesive or the gel, and it will get your wig to slide around and look like a hot mess. And it's just not what you want. Once you do that, you have a choice. You can decide if you want to wear the wig for a shorter period of time. If you don't really care to wear the wig for a long period of time, you can use the Got2b glue, which comes in 2 different colors. So the Got2b glue gel looks like this. I prefer the black tube, which is sold out right now in my local beauty store, so I've had to get this one. So if you're wearing your wig for short-term use, you would just apply this with a little bit of a Q-tip or whatever, and you would put it on the perimeter of your forehead and the temple, and then you let it get tacky, and then you could go ahead and put the wig down and sort of push it around. Now, the one thing that I use personally, what I'm using today, which is why it has like such a good glue down, is I like to use an actual adhesive glue. The one that I have been using lately is Ghost Bond. It's a waterproof adhesive. I also truly prefer Bold Hold glue, which is a better adhesive in my opinion. However, again, that's also sold out from my beauty supply store. So I picked this one up. It works pretty much the same. The only difference that I find between the Bold Hold glue and this Ghost Bond glue is that this glue takes a little while longer for the white color to become clear in order to put the lace down. So you just have to be a little bit more patient with this, whereas the Bold Hold glue goes clear right away. Once you put the glue down, you want to make sure that you wrap your hairline to ensure that the lace melts into the skin. So you could do that one of 2 ways. Do that with something like this. It looks white on the screen, but essentially they're like little styling wraps. You could buy this at your beauty salon place. I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of like a piece of paper. It looks like that. And you wrap it around the perimeter of your hairline and tie it off. And that way the lace melts into the forehead area. Or if you don't have that, then you could take any sort of basic head wrap. This is the one that I like to use. You could get it at your local beauty shop. It's super cheap. And it's like a spandex hair wrap, and you just wrap it around the perimeter. So this one actually has Velcro, which I like. And you just go like this, and you can wrap it around, and you look like a little ninja. However, usually I do it this way. I usually go like this and wrap it around. So that way, your glue and the lace itself is adhering really nicely. And so to create my baby hairs, I recommend something like this, which looks like a toothbrush, but it's not. It's actually an edge brush, and then there's a comb on the back end, and you can get this from your local beauty supply place. So what I want to do, just to create like maybe a couple baby hairs in the front, I don't really care to do a lot of baby hairs, to be honest, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring some of the little hairs to the front so I can determine where I want to pull from. I like using Lotta Body, which is the Refine Me curling mousse, for 2 reasons. One, I like to use them to kind of get an idea of how I want to style my baby hairs. The other reason is because wigs normally look really puffy on the top, and that's kind of what the dead giveaway that it's a wig. So normally what I'll do is I'll pump some of this mousse in, and I'll put it into the hair itself and then wrap the hair, so that way the hair is like super, super flat to your head. So that's what I would recommend, and this is Lotta Body. This is their honey version. However, they do have a blue version that I just ran out of. But any styling mousse that's non-sticky, non-greasy will work to be able to make sure that your actual hair is as flat as it can be. Taking a little bit of mousse, which looks like toothpaste at this point, and I'm gonna go ahead and dab a little bit of it off, and I'm going to figure out which hairs I want to comb off into baby hairs. I think for today's purposes, I'm just gonna leave it like that. The other thing that I would recommend when you do decide on the part that you'd like is just to put concealer down onto your part, just to make sure that you want it to look as realistic as possible. You want to make sure that it looks like scalp. I'm going to use the MAC concealer. I use it in NC35, and I just take a straight brush and I go ahead and carve out that hairline to make sure that it looks as natural as possible. just like that. And the great thing about this wig right here by Celie Hair is that the parting space is actually all the way to the back. It's actually a 13x6, which is wonderful. So so you get a lot of parting space, which is actually what differentiates a really good wig from like a really crappy wig, is how much parting space you get. But before I curl it, I just wanted to let you guys know, I did wash this hair because I wanted to see how it performed after washing it, and I will say that the colored hair performed amazingly. So this was pre-colored by the company, and when I washed it, it did not run like completely bloody red, which is usually what happens when you dye your hair red. It literally pours out red when you wash it, and the hair is left looking like not as vibrant. But when I washed this, very little red actually went out of the actual hair color. It was just the slightest bit of pink, but it was very transparent. So I was very impressed with that because I've always dyed my other wigs red before. And honestly, after one wash, the vibrancy goes down a lot. And it wasn't the case with this hair at all. The other thing as well too is that even after I washed it, this hair has bounced back beautifully. It's not frizzy, it's not tangly, it's not a hot mess, which usually happens with a lot of wig companies, unfortunately. Sorry guys, it was getting a bit dark in the room, so I wanted to make sure that I turn on more lighting. I should have done that in the beginning. I don't know what was going on with me. So the flat iron that I have been loving is by FOXYBAE. I'm gonna show you how I get my waves or curls using this right now. I start off by brushing through the hair, and as you can see, that was like super easy because normally with really crappy wigs, I will tangle and all that stuff. So I'm glad that, you know, this wig has turned out really well even after washing it. So the one thing about this straightener that I love from FOXYBAE is the fact that it is so sleek. Actually, it is super sleek and it really does a really good job of curling. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the straightener like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the hair around just like that and slide it through the hair. And as I'm sliding, I'm just turning outwards and away from my face. And that sort of gives you the curl that you want. I'm just gonna let this heat up a little bit more. So that's one side loosely curled. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and I'll be right back. Here I just loosely curl it. I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of put my fingers through it just to make it a little bit bigger. And there you guys have it. This hair by Celie Hair, guys, is so beautiful. As you can see, it just has a lot of body and shine to it, especially after it's already been washed. And there is minimal shedding, like minimal shedding from this hair. It doesn't tangle, which is fantastic, which is huge with wigs. In the back, it's sort of nice and flat. It doesn't cause any tangling in the nape of the neck area, which is a huge problem with most wigs, but it's not with this one. So I'm very happy to say that. So I just wanted to show you guys kind of my regular hair routine. Let me know what your thoughts were below, if you guys kind of like me trying out different wigs and sharing that with you guys. What I could do next time is do a live sort of application to show you guys. I just wanted to kind of breeze through it today just so the video is not too long, but I definitely could do a live one in the future if that interests you guys. But I really just wanted to mainly talk about the hair itself, the quality of the hair, kind of how it holds a curl, as well as kind of my experience with Celie Hair. I'll tell you guys from my long experience, well before I got into YouTube, well before I got to Instagram, I used to purchase from them just as a regular consumer, and I really love their hair. So I'm so happy to be able to try out this red hair color. I think it saves me a lot of time from having to dye the hair myself. And why not experiment with your hair? It's just so much fun. The same way you experiment with your makeup looks and things like that, I love being able to experiment with my hair as well. And this is sort of a protective way to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and link the information for the hair below. The customer service for Celie Hair is really amazing, I'll tell you that much. They ship their hair through DHL worldwide, and it comes to Canada within like about 3, maybe 4 business days at most, and they're really fast, which is like insane, which is impressive that it can get here so fast, and impressive that the quality is as good as it is. So that's the great thing as well. Let me know, guys, what type of hair you want me to try out, what other colors you want me to try out, what interests you as far as like kind of hair tutorials and all that good stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up so I know what types of videos you like to see. And I hope to catch you guys on another video very soon. So thank you guys so much for spending your time with me doing this quick and easy hair tutorial. If you want to see more of me, make sure to follow me on my Instagram pages that are on the screen there for you guys, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a future upload. If you are interested in this makeup look that I'm wearing today, I'll make sure to post a picture on my Instagram page, Glam with Suzanne, so you guys get all the details as to what products I used. Anyways guys, all the best and take care.